spoke to Premier O'Farrell's secretary this morning, and she mentioned that Barry had a lot of parliamentary duties on today.
Big mistake.
Now listen, of course we understand the Premier's a busy person. We don't doubt that at all. But we have to stress that over 20,000 signatures have come in only since April, and there is massive community concern about this issue, and it was a huge logistical and organisational effort to get in 20,000 signatures in hard copy. And this petition was launched directly in response to Barry O'Farrell's pre-election promise around people's petitions, where 10,000 signatures were raised. A debate would be triggered in Parliament as a matter of urgency, and he made that promise personally. Now, he's offered to send out Gareth Ward, who's the member for Kiama, to receive the petition, but I think it'd only take 5 minutes of Barry's time, and we've all put in a lot of work for this. We know Barry's here. We want Barry.
We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry. We want Barry.
The crowd here today is it's a fantastic crowd. It represents tens and tens and tens of community groups around New South Wales, but it also reflects a broad movement. We've seen actions of over 3,000 in the Illawarra, at Byron Bay. If Barry hasn't got 5 minutes to come out and take a stack of papers, we think that's a very serious thing, and I'd take it personally, frankly. It's offensive. The Premier has 5 minutes to come and talk to 100 people who have put their lives on hold to campaign against a very damaging industry that threatens our water, our health, our very livelihood. And if Barry hasn't got 5 minutes to come and talk to us, then shame.
Will from Stop Coal Seam Gas Illawarra is negotiating with Gareth now. So we might have our next speaker, and it's very fitting that Stop Coal Seam Gas Illawarra was one of the initiators of this petition and have had some of the most amazing actions. 3,000 people on the beach of Austin Mere. Some of the biggest actions in the Illawarra's history to say no to coal seam gas mining. So I'd like to welcome now, while we're negotiating, a stalwart and a driving force of the Stop Coal Seam Gas Illawarra campaign and the campaign more generally. Please welcome Jess Moore.
So we all know why we're here today. Coal seam gas mining poses enormous threats to our water, to our food, to the health of our communities. And it is a completely absurd thing that on the basis of a promise from the Premier, who said he would take seriously any group, any issue, where more than 10,000 people in New South Wales signed, he would come out and it would be debated on the floor of Parliament. Now, how can we take that seriously when O'Farrell hasn't got 5 minutes to come outside and talk to us today? Coal seam gas mining is one of the biggest issues in New South Wales, and at the moment it's still in free fall. The industry is still being rolled out on the basis of prior approvals, and it's obnoxious and absurd and it's disrespectful to communities all across New South Wales that the Premier isn't taking this issue seriously, isn't taking 5 minutes out of his day right now to come out and meet with us. Now again, this is such a new issue in so many ways in New South Wales, and really there's only one poll that's extensively interviewed people here, but 74% of people in New South Wales want an immediate moratorium on the industry, and they want a full scientific inquiry into the impacts of CSG. Now, over 20,000 people we've collected signatures from over 20,000 people. I'm sure there's lots more petitions out there that still haven't come back in. And of course, it's such a difficult thing in this day and age to be collecting paper petitions, something the Parliament still imposes on us, when really concern about this issue is much, much, much broader. And this 20,000 signatures represents so many more people than those number on that piece of paper today. Now, for me, this issue really cuts to the heart of democracy, because when you've got 74% of people in New South Wales showing active support for immediate halt to the industry. You've got people coming out on a Tuesday, putting work on hold and coming out on a Tuesday to hand over signatures of over 20,000 people. How much clearer does it need to be? Who does this government represent? And I think the gaping hole that is Barry so far not walking out the door really speaks to that. Who is it that this government represents if it is not the communities across New South Wales who are already suffering the impacts of this industry? Before I finish, I just want to say I think with this campaign, with all of the horrific threats that coal seam gas mining brings, it also brings something quite incredible. And that is communities across New South Wales who are now working together, who are speaking together, and who are creating a campaign that is already having an impact on policies in New South Wales. We are already seeing changes, whether it's small regulatory changes, whether it's projects that are on hold, not because the government made changes, but communities have made it impossible. Drew said before, the people's moratorium is in force. We need the government to come out and to catch up and to remember who it represents.
Look, I want to suggest three things, and a couple of the organisers from different grassroots groups have just had a bit of a chat. Three things. The first thing, I think we should publicly express our, I don't know if disgust is too strong a word, I don't think it is. We should just express our disgust at the Premier for not making the simple gesture of coming to meet the people and accept a 20,000 strong petition. That's the first thing. Does that sound okay to everybody? We launched this petition in April, and we first contacted Barry O'Farrell's office on October the 26th. That's more than 3 weeks away. And we contacted them again on October 28th, and we contacted them again last week, and again yesterday, and again this morning. And not until this morning did we hear back about whether or not Barry would commit to come and meet us. And I think that's a shocker. Now, we wanted to present this personally to Barry, and that hasn't happened, and we're appalled at that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, there are members of Parliament here who are supportive of the petition and who have offered to submit this petition. So we want to call on all members of Parliament in there to come out and show their support if they support this petition. All MPs should come out. Now the third thing, because it is important that we have this debate tabled in Parliament, and it is important that this debate happens in Parliament. So given the Premier has refused to come out and make the very simple thing of accept our petition personally, we will have to submit it through other members of Parliament, which is a great shame. Gareth Waters here from the Coalition, we thank Gareth for coming out, but I actually want to suggest that we get a couple of MPs to table this petition, so a couple of MPs are guaranteed a spot in the debate inside Parliament. Now, I hope Gareth doesn't think this is a petty thing. This is not a petty thing. This is not anything political. This is, we want to guarantee... Okay, we've got some more MPs coming out supporting the petition. So, we'll make this a joint petition, not just with Gareth. Jamie Parker from the Greens has joined us here. And Ryan Park and John Robertson, sorry. So if we could have our 20,000 strong petition tabled jointly by these MPs, so we guarantee a proper debate in Parliament. Now, that doesn't mean we're still not appalled that Barry didn't come and meet us personally, but it means we get a debate in Parliament. Does that sound all right with everybody?
Coal seam gas, we will stop it. Our community is not for profit. Coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community.
Not for profit.
And can I thank you for being part of this democratic process in bringing this extremely significant petition to Parliament today. The reason that we have The reason that we have this process is so that you can be heard in the People's Parliament. This was an initiative of the new government, and there will be a serious debate in this Parliament behind you on... Sorry, I paid people the respect they deserve. I'd certainly hope you would do the same. Sorry. And I think that we need to have this debate because our communities are crying out for it. I hope you ask the Leader of the Opposition before he leaves here today why he, when he was Energy Minister, approved 6 new licences and renewed 10. He better answer those questions before he leaves. But thank you for being part of the process. I look forward to the debate.
We do not want this to be a political game. This is about the majority of the people of the state saying no. We don't care if you're Coalition, you're Labor, you're Greens or you're Timbuktu. We want to stop coal seam gas. Now, I would ask, and we haven't seen much respect from Barry O'Farrell, but we do thank Gareth for being here today, and we now thank John Robertson for a very short acceptance of this petition.
Well, I'll just correct the record. I didn't approve one single coal seam gas extraction licence in that time. What I can tell you is that I'm very happy to take this petition in. The tragedy is, and you should all know this, that this petition will be debated, there will be no resolution moved and nothing passed in this Parliament to actually stop coal seam gas. So a great effort, and you should keep up the fight. But we will do what we can to make sure that is the case. I have, as Labor leader, taken a completely new position on coal seam gas, and that is that we do not want to see any new licences issued for extraction, and we want to see a suspension of all exploration licences, including the Pilliga. And we do not want to see coal seam gas extraction or exploration start again in this state until there is a scientific consensus that we are not compromising water. Water must be our #1 priority, and that's the commitment that I give to you now. And it is a commitment that if we end up back in government and I am leader, it is a commitment that I will be happy to be held to, because it's very important that we do not see our aquifers, our water catchment and our groundwater damaged because of coal seam gas. We need to make sure that the science is in and that there is a consensus that we are not compromising water.
Thanks, John. And we do know that the Labor record in this is atrocious, but we very much welcome a backflip, and we want to see as many backflips as possible from any party that supports coal seam gas mining. We should see a big backflip as quickly as possible because the people want to see opposition to coal seam gas mining. We thank you, John Robertson. Now hand over to a party that has opposed coal seam gas mining quite consistently, Jamie Parker from the Greens.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on such a fantastic effort, gaining close to 20,000 signatures. It's a very important debate that we're having in the Parliament as a result of this petition, but also because later this week in the Upper House, Jeremy Buckingham, who's the Upper House Greens MP for the portfolio of mining, will be introducing a private members bill, a moratorium coal seam gas private members bill. And we call on the Labor Party to support that bill. And importantly, what will the National Party do? We think the National Party has a very important role here to make sure that they stand up not only for farming communities, but for water and the future of many of these rural and regional towns. So we welcome the fact that the Labor Party has changed its policy. We know that before the election they had one of the worst policies on coal seam gas, in particular when it came to a royalty-free period, giving a free kick not only to the granting of exploration licences, but to the real reduction in any costs to facilitate coal seam gas throughout New South Wales. So we look forward to the Minister for Energy to be able to examine not only this petition, but also to be able to support our bill which is coming to the Upper House. And we call on the Leader of the Opposition who's here today and Labor to support our coal seam gas moratorium bill. So keep up the good work. Congratulations on the effort so far. We're with you and we'll continue to fight both inside and outside of Parliament to make sure that we can deliver to see a better future when it comes to our local communities, but also for those rural and regional communities who are feeling the brunt, in particular to their water and the threat to their livelihoods. Thank you.
We think it is good that this is going to be jointly submitted, I believe, by these three, and we've got the petitions here, so maybe we will conclude with our most famous of chants as the 20,000, the voices of 20,000 and really of millions more is handed over to Jamie Parker, to John Robertson and to Gareth Ward and say, coal seam gas, we will stop it. Our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community,
Not for profit.
coal seam gas,
We will stop it.
our community.
Not for profit.
Sorry, one final question we need to put to everyone here is technically only one person can table this. I think we all thank the people who came out today to meet us because at the end of the day, we want everyone who's in that parliament to support this petition because that's what the people of New South Wales want. But we do need to make a decision right now about who we actually ask to table this.
Yeah. Don't trust any of them.
So Gareth has actually offered to hand it to Barry to table.
Yay.
Okay, so I'm going to present three options because there's different people screaming out different things.
The person who tables it gets the longest speech as well.
And sorry, just to make it clear, the person who tables it gets to make the longest contribution around this petition. Sorry,
7755.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't we do this? I think that the government are the people that we need to apply maximum pressure onto. I would be delighted if Barry O'Farrell was the one that had to lead the debate on this. And so if Gareth is happy to take it to the Premier with the view that the government take the lead on this, I think that would be a very positive thing that we could probably rejoice in. And I'm sure that the Leader of the House would allow us to seek leave in order to add people to speak on this debate so that we can have the maximum possible debate on the issue. And if he doesn't, you'll be all there in the gallery letting him know what you think.
All right, so I might just put that one proposal at that point that we hand the petition to Gareth, but to all of these people who came out and met us to give to Barry to table in Parliament. Everyone in favour of that? All right. Again, I just want to thank everyone who came out to meet us today. Obviously, this is incredibly important, and today is really just the beginning in so many ways because what matters now is what this government does. We will be listening and we will be watching and we will be campaigning. Thank you.